In an effort to bring zero cost to consumer information to the general public, in that spirit, I would like to thank our sponsors for today. Our first sponsor for today is Evoscent. Evoscent is the signature luxury line of fragrances created by award-winning master and veteran perfumer Ramon Bejar in collaboration with Evorich Group of Companies. The Evoscent collection of 8 bespoke, crafted and unisex fragrances called the Highest is now available on the Evoscent website for purchase at a price of $150. However, there's a limited time promotion going on, so use the code HEGYREX4 during checkout and you only have to pay a flat worldwide shipping fee of $25 instead of $150. Buy now using the link in the description below. And now back to the show. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Mr. Sahir Kadegaonkar.
Welcome.
Okay. So you have a lot of experience when it comes to a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But officially you are an investor in the company UGPay. Right. And you're a director at Evoscent Fragrances.
Yeah.
So could you just give us a brief about what is it that you do and what the company is about?
Yeah. Basically, I've been into different kind of investments for some time and been involved in crypto market basically. And that's how I got introduced to this company called UGPay Group of Companies, which is based out of Switzerland. And they've been into a very unique business concept, and they have come up with something called as a security token, STO, which is regulated in a simple layman's language. A security token is a share but on blockchain, so it's called a digital asset, you can say. So that's why it's called a token. So basically a share of a company but on blockchain, so it's called a security token. So that's how I got involved with UGPay in about end of 2018, and I was attracted towards the kind of investment and the kind of returns and the growth that the company was showing. That's how I got involved into it, and I started as an investor. And because we have a lot of subsidiaries under UGPay, so it's basically a global investment portfolio that they are building. So initially I started as an investor, but then I got involved in the corporate of the company also. So today I'm here to talk about UGPay and other things.
Okay. So let's start with the parent company UGPay.
Yeah.
Apart from some of the things that you mentioned, especially when you mentioned security token, could you elaborate further on what a security token is and how it is related to cryptocurrency and blockchain?
Okay. Now there's a lot of confusion when you talk about a token. When you say it's a token or it's on blockchain, many people, because the awareness is not there yet. What I understand is only 3% of the world population understand what a cryptocurrency is or what blockchain is. So basically what a security token is, in the crypto market, there are ICOs and there are security tokens. There are many different types of tokens. But everything that is on blockchain is not a cryptocurrency. What is a security token? Now, I'm sure you've heard about cryptocurrencies where people say, they're illegal. They are banned by many governments and it's not allowed in many countries. And I've heard about a lot of issues in India also. There were a lot of news in just recent past that government is planning to ban or they are going to come up with some regulations. A lot of confusion about that. So basically a cryptocurrency is something which is on blockchain. It is used as a currency but without any backup, and there is no company or anybody who's backing up that ICO or a cryptocurrency. And that's how, if you remember 2017-18, people who were involved in cryptocurrency, that time it was quite new and people didn't know about cryptocurrency and they were just looking at the investment part and the market's growing and they thought they would make money out of it. So they started investing and suddenly the market crashed. So basically cryptocurrency works only on demand and supply. So there's no other thing that either brings it up or brings it down. So demand and supply is the only thing. But when it comes to a security token, and cryptocurrency is not regulated, because you've heard of stories where governments are banning it and not allowing it in many countries, and some countries do have accepted it and have started regulating it. So cryptocurrency basically is not regulated, there's no backup, nothing. Whereas a security token, as I said, security token is, in simple layman's language, it's a share of a company. Earlier we would get, when you invest in a company, you get a share, which is a piece of paper with your numbers on the paper with your name, and that's your share certificate. So when everything got digitalized, you've seen the way blockchain is being accepted around the world. So these shares have also been tokenized. So they've come on blockchain. That's why they are called a security token. Now the word itself, security, means security. Why? Because each and every security token is backed by assets. Now, if you remember, there were a lot of companies who just came up and launched ICOs and they vanished overnight and people lost money. But this cannot happen with a security token. A security token has to be launched by a proper company. It has to go through all regulations. UGPay today, the assets that we have, the investments that we've done around the globe for the past 7 years, we started in 2014, is worth about approximately $22 billion. It's been audited by a audit company called Crow, which is 7th or 8th largest auditing firm in the world. About 8 were evaluated in the month of August. So the valuation was $11.5 billion, and we are expecting the audit report for all the other businesses, about total 15, which should happen by end of this year. And the valuation we are expecting is minimum $22 to $25 billion. So all these assets that we've invested, these security tokens are backed by these assets. So, and because it's a share, you earn dividends on these security tokens. So there are a lot of benefits, and it's not volatile like a cryptocurrency. If you see, cryptocurrency may just go up by 30, 40, 50% in a day and just drop down by another 50%. This doesn't happen with a security token, because it's a stable investment with backup of assets, regulated market. So that is a very safe and secure investment compared to a cryptocurrency. But what people understand, when you tell them it's a security token, they always compare it with a cryptocurrency, which is not correct.
Okay, that's very well put. Now you mentioned that UGPay has a lot of subsidiary companies, 15 to be precise.
Yeah, okay. Now let me tell you, I'll just give you a little bit of background how this company started for you to get an idea of what exactly this is, because most of the time what people feel that a company comes into the market and to make money, to collect money from people, and it's all about making money for a company, right? That's what most of the people think. But let me give you a little bit of background how this company started and why it started and how did it grow so well in last 7 years. Our parent company, Academy of Private Investor, was actually started in 2011. The CEO of this group of companies, UGPay and all these companies, okay, he's a gentleman who's been into investment market for 25-30 years. He's got a lot of experience into investment and finance. He's been a professional broker and a trader and all that. So he realized in 2010 that financial literacy around the globe is very low. We're not talking about normal literacy. People are educated, people are qualified, but people do not know how to multiply their money. You must have heard, recently, just last year when this COVID thing was going on, I saw on some news channel, I don't remember, pilots of Qantas Airlines in Australia are driving buses. Why? Because no job, no salaries, and they're not able to survive. So imagine you working for 25-30 years, and if suppose you lose your job, you don't know how to survive. You may back to square one. So he said this is the biggest problem what people have, and why this is because of the mindset. He says what people think is that once I finish with my education, I have to work, and I keep working for 35-40 years of my life till the time I retire, and whatever I save, then I survive on that. He says this is the biggest mistake what people do. He says what you should do is, you should work for, he says working is important, but you should work for 20 years of your life. And when you're working for this 20 years, out of your income, whatever you get, he's not talking about millions of dollars, he's talking about small amount, whatever you earn every month. A certain amount, like 10% or 20% of that should be saved. But not only saved, it should be invested. This is what people don't understand. So he says basically this investment, the savings that you do and you invest in the right place and you keep doing this for 20 years, he says for 20 years you work for money. After 20 years the money should work for you. This is what people don't understand. Why? Because people do not know what to do with that money. Even if they're saving, they will either keep it in bank deposit or keep it at home, and that's how they say, okay, we've saved money. But he says you need to multiply this savings. So investment market is a huge subject. There are so many investment segments. You should know where to invest, how to invest. And for us, a layman, investing and earning 10% a year or 12% a year or 15% is a very good investment. He says there are places where you can invest and earn 3, 4%, 5% a month also, but you should know where to invest. So that's what he said. He said, I need to educate people. I need to make people understand that it's not only about saving or earning, it's about investing. I'm sure you've heard of stories like Warren Buffett, and there are many big investors who've never worked, but their money works for them. So he says many people don't understand that, and people feel that I should save few millions of dollars to invest, and then I can invest. But that is not the case. So that's the reason he decided to start an academy in 2011. So the Academy of Private Investor was started in 2011, where he started educating people, giving courses to people on investments. That's how the journey began. So the first company that we came up with was Academy of Private Investor, and by about 2013, he had about 150,000 students who had taken courses and they've learned about investment. But what he realized, one more thing, that there are many institutes in this world who give you education, give you courses. They make you learn from the books, and they tell you to apply. He says, I'm doing the same thing, I'm not doing anything new. So he said, I need to change this. So what he decided is, he said, I need to show this practically to my students how investment is done. It's no point just giving bookish knowledge. So we decided to have this global investment portfolio. So he told all his students, let's contribute and create a fund, and we will start investing, and I will show you practically how investment is done and how we earn from our investments. That's how our global investment portfolio started in 2014, and we started investing in different projects around the world. So basically we started very small. So he always wanted to support new ideas, new companies who are coming up and who are who want to grow and need support. So that's how we invested in this one particular company. That's how we started in 2014. And then he realized one more thing, that we have 150,000 students, but the more people that we have, it's better that we'll have more funds to invest. So in 2012, the US government, Barack Obama government, came up with an act called Jobs Act, which allowed a common man to invest in a company and get equity for that. So he said, why not we take advantage of this? And that's how we started crowd investment in 2014. So he said, more people come into us with us, the more funds we have, so we invest more. So that's how this started in 2014. We started with crowd investment, and then with the money that was coming in, we started investing in different projects. Then we invested in stock markets, US stock market, Russian stock market, Indian stock market, Chinese stock market, gold mining, gold trading, into real estate, into Basalt technology. I'll explain you what Basalt technology is. I'm sure you must have heard about Basalt. Then synthetic diamond manufacturing, then chain of restaurants, and now we've recently started this Evoscent as a perfume brand. So basically what we do is we partner with companies, we invest in good projects, in good companies, and then that's how we give them funds, and we become partners with them, minimum 50%, and that's how we started investing in different projects, and today all the investments that we've done, we've got our own app called UGain, which is going to benefit many business people around the world. So there are a lot of things that we also have a company in Switzerland called Global Unit Pay. So this is our own payment system. So basically we have our investment license, banking license, asset management license. So we are a payment gateway, crypto to fiat, fiat to crypto exchange. And if you go through Global Unit Pay, and if your account is verified, you can even open a bank account in a European bank. So these are the facilities you get. So basically we've grown in last 7 years since the time we've started building this global investment portfolio. So that's how it's been a long journey for the company, but they have done a lot of things which are very different. No company has tried this. Yeah, I mean, we did face a lot of challenges, a lot of difficulties, because whatever we were doing was something very different. Nobody has done what we are doing, where with crowd investing, we started investing a global investment portfolio, and from few millions of dollars we've reached up today at $22-25 billion worth of company, and we are still growing. We still have a lot of projects where we are going to invest, and basically whatever we've achieved is something which is not so easy in 7 years time. Our vision as new economic evolution of the world. So basically, as an individual, even if I have $10,000-20,000 or $100,000, I can't build a global investment portfolio for myself. And I'm sure you've heard of a company called Berkshire Hathaway. I always give this example to people. If imagine you want to invest in Berkshire Hathaway today, I think a share of Berkshire Hathaway is around $300,000 today. Can a common man invest? No. So I tell people that this company could be a future Berkshire Hathaway. Today you are investing at few hundreds of dollars or even few thousands of dollars you can invest, and this could grow, and this company Berkshire Hathaway took 60 years to reach where they are today. We in 7 years have reached to few billions of dollars, and the target and the aim of our CEO is that by 2024 we should be at few hundreds of billions of dollars, and he's even planned till 2028. So that's how far he thinks, and he always aims for much higher. That's how he thinks, and that's how we've grown in last 7 years.
Okay, so you mentioned that there are a lot of companies that you've invested in, and from what you said, they're very diverse. They're in different countries and in completely different sectors and fields.
Yes.
And apart from the main criteria that you mentioned, we're trying to invest in companies that are improving the world and defining technologies. What are some of so it's a two-part question. Who decides what are the companies and what are the sectors that are being invested in?
Yeah.
And what are some of the criteria that you look at before investing?
Yeah. We've got an investment team, okay, who decide on the projects, analyze what the project is and how it's going to be, and all those required workout that they do. So, but we have a proper team who works on that. We why am I saying, you must have heard me saying that my company or our company, because he says I'm the CEO because I'm managing the company, I take a salary for that. But this company belongs to everyone, because we all who have these tokens, we are shareholders. The tokens that we have, we are shareholders of the company. So he says you all are co-partners, or you all are shareholders of this company. I'm not the owner of the company. So that is how he wants people to get involved into it. As an investor, if I have some project, I can approach the company and recommend this is the project which I feel could be good, and they will look at the project, and if they find it's a good project, they don't mind investing it. And sorry, what was the second question?
Second question was, apart from the criteria that you mentioned, that we try to invest in upcoming technologies or technologies that are going to revolutionize the future.
Yeah.
What are some of the other criteria that you're looking at?
Other very important criteria is the business that we are going to invest. If it's eco-friendly, that's the first preference. And the second criteria is it should help people. these are it's not only money part. He says we don't only look at the profit. Yes, profit is important. We have to look at businesses that are going to give us profit. But for example, if you give him, tell him about a project which is going to give you good profits, but that is going to damage your environment and it's not going to be helpful to people, he'll never invest in that. So we'll look at projects. So these are the very important criteria that he looks at, and if it's something which is going to help people, that is where we invest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's start with Evoscent fragrances.
Yeah.
So I want to know from you, what is it that the company does?
Yeah.
And as your role as director, what is it that you specifically do in the company?
Okay. Evoscent, as I said, what we do is we partner with companies and, we invest in companies, and that's how. So this is a very recent project that we started. And there is this gentleman called Mr. Ramon Begor. He's a Spanish guy and he's been into perfume industry for more than 40 years. He's created many fragrances for many brands that you see in the market today. And some of his brands are sold for even $5,000. So he's a very well-known gentleman in this perfume industry. And, he came to us through one of our partners. Like, one of our partners is his friend. So, he said, I can develop fragrances for this company. We can create a brand for this company. And that's how we had a partnership agreement with him. And he is creating fragrances for us. So now we have come up with unique 8 fragrances, which, we've already started giving free samples to our partners around the world. We've already shipped so many thousands of samples. We are just, asking our partners to pay for the shipping cost. Rest, everything has been free. So we are already distributing a lot of samples to our partners around the world. And by March or April, we are going to start the 75 ml actual bottles of this, because all our partners will test these fragrances, and whatever they like, they can order in future. So we'll start our production of the 75 ml by March, April, and then we'll start selling these fragrances. The community that we have, the partners that I'm talking about, the crowd investing that we started, we are about 1.7 million people around the world in 175 countries. So we are a very big community. That is the biggest advantage we have. So because whatever business that you want to do, anything that you start, the very important thing is that you need a customer base or you need a database. So we already have 1.7 million customers. They're not customers, they're partners actually. So why will they buy? Because they know they're also co-owners of this. They are partner in this. So it's going to help the company grow. So, for us, that is how we look at a company. I would want to buy because why? Because I am also part of it. I become a co-owner in this company. I am part of this because of the security token that I have. So that's how we already have started distributing free samples, and soon we'll start with the 75 ml, and we are going to develop many more brands. So it's not only perfumes. So we have started with perfumes. We are going to get into cosmetics and other things also. And we plan to have in future retail outlets of our own, exclusive retail outlets around the world, in big cities around the world. But that is going to be later stage. So we have plans of growing. So what I basically look after is, because this company is based in Dubai, so I've helped the company to set up over there, and I'm the director of the company. So I look at all the operations of the company and handle everything. So that's how I'm involved with Evoscent.
Okay, so now again the API, which is Academy of Private Investors.
Yeah.
So I'm very interested because we spoke off camera about it.
Yeah.
So could you just tell our viewers a little about that as well?
So we are already planning to have an academy in Dubai also. So we already started the process of getting a license for Academy of Private Investors, because in UAE, in Dubai especially, there are a lot of regulations to have a license with all the permissions. So we are doing that, and we have plans of starting this academy in different countries around the world. So we basically want to grow academy as an institute around the world. Okay, there are online courses where people from anywhere in the world can join these courses. We even plan to have it in London. So these are the plans for us to grow as an academy, where we give the education, the right kind of education for people to understand about investments, learn about investments, and practically do what and understand what investments is.
So when we talk about security tokens and ICO is an initial coin offering, and the concept comes from the stock market, from shares, which is known as an initial public offering. So could you just give our audience a little bit about a brief on what are some of the terms that are used in the community, like in the blockchain community, that they might not know about? For instance, let's start with blockchain. What is blockchain?
Basically, blockchain is a technology. In simple layman's language, is a public ledger. Okay, and why is it that blockchain has the potential to grow? Is because it cannot be manipulated. Nobody can hamper it, and the way it works, the speed that it works at, and the way your system, what you generally have manual system or the computers that you use today, this will eliminate all those problems that you have in the existing setup that you have. And the biggest advantage of blockchain is no manipulation is possible, because it has to be the transactions have to be approved by many system or many computers around the world. So it is not possible for anyone to hack it and manipulate it, and that's the reason why more and more companies see what people think, that blockchain means cryptocurrency. Yes, cryptocurrency cannot work without blockchain, but blockchain has nothing to do with cryptocurrency. So there are many other advantages and usability that you can have for blockchain, where banking system is coming on blockchain, because banking system knows that if they do not change with time, and the way cryptocurrency or blockchain technology is taking over everything, there are many banks in Dubai who've already adopted blockchain technology. They're getting all the system on blockchain, and Dubai is the first government in the world who has got the entire system, the working of the government departments on blockchain.
I think, sorry to interrupt, I think just today, in fact, in the news and the papers, it's come, Dubai is the first country in the world to go 100% paperless.
100% paperless,
yeah. Yes.
So basically, there are a lot of advantages of blockchain. I'm not a technically qualified guy into blockchain, but because I've been involved, so I would just give you a basic about blockchain, so I can't get into too much of technicality. But yes, definitely, this is the next big thing, what is going to change a lot of things. And there are many companies in India, and I've heard about some companies in Pune also who have adopted blockchain technology into the system, which is really very helpful. You save a lot of money, you save a lot of time. You don't you save on what do you call salaries of people. You don't need 10 or 20 people sitting in one particular department. Blockchain takes care of a lot of things. So there are a lot of advantages of blockchain, and that is why people are adopting it, and this is going to grow, and that is the future. Even though people have not understood what a cryptocurrency is, let me give you an example. Few hundreds of years back, it used to be barter exchange, and when there were kingdoms, they would use gold coin and silver coin to trade. And then came governments with paper money, then came plastic money. I remember when I was young, and credit cards and debit cards were introduced in the market, like people were not ready to touch it. They said, how is it possible for someone to use a plastic card to put in a machine and get money? And I lose my money, and we don't know what this technology is. So many people were not ready to touch debit card, credit card. I'm talking about 25, 30 years back. So I would say cryptocurrency is in the similar situation today. Now today you see anybody, even an old gentleman, he may have at least 2-3 debit card or a credit card. So similarly, what's going to happen in future is cryptocurrency is at the same stage where people are not understanding, and especially when it comes to India, when it comes to technology, it takes time for people to adopt. So basically, it's at the same level now. So money is evolved. So gold coin, silver coin, paper money, plastic money. Now it's going to be digital money. That is the future. But yeah, it's going to take time. Many countries, if you go to Europe, if you go to Japan, you don't need to carry fiat currency with you. You have your phone with wallets with few cryptocurrencies on that. You can pay anywhere, any outlet, they accept cryptocurrencies. US also, many places. European countries, Korea, you don't need fiat currency with you. So things are changing. Yes, definitely India takes a lot of time to, accept new things. But this is the future. And the sooner we get into it, get involved into it, as we've seen the way technology has changed in last 10-15 years. So that is how, if we don't catch up with it right now, we might feel that we were left out. So cryptocurrency is the future. Whatever we say, yes, not allowed, and there are a lot of restrictions and there are problems. Yes, definitely there are problems, but those things will get sorted slowly. And this will be the future, and it's going to be digital currency in the future. So the sooner we accept, it's better.
Talking about Dubai reminded me of something that is happening in Dubai right now, which is the Expo 2020, although we're in the year 2021 because it got delayed of the pandemic. In fact, your company were the co-sponsors for the Crypto Expo 2020.
Yes.
So could you talk about what exactly is the Expo? What is happening specifically at the Crypto Expo, and what role your company played at that expo?
Yeah, we had our own booth at Crypto Expo, and that was for a company from Switzerland called Global Unit Pay, the payment system that we have. So we were one of the sponsors, and we had a booth over there. And basically, what Dubai, especially I'm talking about Dubai, not UAE but Dubai, they are encouraging people, and because Dubai is always ahead of rest of the world, so they do want to adopt, and they want to see how things are in the digital world. What we've understood that they are going to come up with regulations very soon for the security tokens, because their plan is to regulate security tokens first, and then they do plan to regulate cryptocurrencies also. So there are a lot of companies who are involved in crypto business, are getting licenses in Dubai, and they're able to operate in Dubai. But still, there is not much clarity on that, because the regulations are not yet there.
Okay. Now, I really like the example that you gave earlier. A few hundred and few thousand years ago, we had gold coins.
Yeah.
Before that, we had barter. Then we had gold coins. Then finally, we had paper money, which was backed by gold, and now no longer it's backed by gold.
Yeah.
Then we had plastic money, and finally we're going to move to digital money.
Yeah.
What, apart from the dangers of, see, anything by itself cannot be good or bad, right? It's a tool or a medium.
Yeah.
Today also money can be used to buy drugs or weapons.
Yeah.
Or it can be used to buy food and given to the needy or whatever.
Yeah.
But there are too many misconceptions surrounding blockchain and cryptocurrency, as we can see, especially in India and a lot of other countries. Do you think the main reason why governments are apprehensive is because they are giving control back to the people, and they cannot be taxed, they cannot be traced? Do you think that those are some of the major reasons, or what could be the other reasons?
See, it's a combination of everything. Okay, understand one thing. The financial market has been controlled by few big families in the world, especially United States.
Yeah.
So anybody who feels that the control that we have right now is going to go out of our hands, so definitely they're going to be, they'll resist it. They will try to block it in any ways that they want. That is one part. The financial industry is itself manipulated. The way banks operate, the way people end up paying money to banks unnecessarily. So basically the concept was very good, is very good, because the control is going to be in your own hands when it comes to blockchain, when it comes to decentralized blockchain. So cryptocurrency, why did it start growing so fast, is because people realize, that your money has to be in your control. Why do you depend on somebody else to send your own money and pay for it? So whereas banks make a lot of money, and the entire financial system is controlled by a few people for their own benefits. So that's what happens is the control is not going to be in these families you may call or the governments around the world. That's the reason the governments do not want it, because they lose the control. And yes, there are issues of black money being used, because it's very difficult to trace transactions when it is on blockchain, and nobody can block it and nobody can trace it. So these are some challenges. So they have this excuse to block the cryptocurrency, but I don't think so that's the only thing which is holding them back to regulate or allow people to use it. Today also with fiat money, a lot of illegal things do happen. So there has to be a balance between regulations and freedom to people, and people have realized that cryptocurrency is a way to have control in your own hands. Do yourself whatever is required. Why depend on the financial system which is manipulated and controlled by governments? So yes, it is going to take some time for governments also to let it go. But yeah, it is the future, and definitely there are going to be ways that they will try to tax people, because the first very important concern that they have is how people are making money out of it, but the government doesn't get anything. So the governments want to earn money on that, on the transactions that people do, the money that they invest. They want to trace where the money is coming from and who's invested. So once these things are resolved, so I'm sure it should happen very soon, and things will fall in place. But yeah, there are challenges right now.
So when we talk about UGPay as a payments processing platform, and we talk about fiat currency, and what exactly UGPay does, could you walk us through that?
Okay, let me correct you. UGPay is our main company which has the STO. Okay, but here you're talking about Global Unit Pay. That's our payment system, our payment gateway. So this again is a company from Switzerland which we also use for making payments. So basically what happens is, we till date we've been using debit cards and credit cards to make payments. So our payments, let me talk about Global Unit Pay. This is the platform where you can convert your fiat into crypto into fiat. It's a payment gateway, and you can make payments anywhere in the world. Okay. Now the problem with many people is they do not understand how to use a crypto, or how to transfer a crypto, where to keep a crypto. Basically, there are many exchanges around the world, right? And I'm sure you've heard about, there were many exchanges in India and abroad, and there are thousands of thousands of exchanges around the world. So basically these are exchanges where you can trade, you can buy and sell and trade and do whatever you want. But if suppose you're an investor or you have some cryptos and you want to keep it, people think that you have to keep it on the exchange. Every exchange has a wallet. Okay. So basically you need to have a wallet which can be on your phone also, and you store your cryptocurrencies there. Because if you keep it on exchange, there are exchanges who charge you for keeping your crypto over there. So exchange is not a place for you to keep your crypto, but it is basically for trading, buying and selling. So you have wallets, and there are something called as warm wallets and cold wallets. So I'm sure you've heard of stories where wallets got hacked and people lost a lot of bitcoins or many other cryptocurrencies, and they lost a lot of money. So because your wallets, either it's on phone or on your laptop, they are connected to internet, and it's very easy for hackers to hack your wallet, and your cryptos can be stolen from there. So there's another safer way to keep your crypto very safely, which is called as a cold wallet. These are kind of a USBs, you can say, and you just store your cryptos, whatever cryptos you have, into a cold wallet. And because it's a USB, you can keep it in your locker, and because it's not connected to any Wi-Fi, any internet anywhere, so there's no chance of anybody hacking it. So it's always very safe to keep your crypto in cold wallet if you are a long-term investor and you have good number of bitcoins or cryptocurrencies worth, few thousands of dollars or few hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's always good to keep in a cold wallet where it protects from hacking and nobody can steal your cryptos. So these are very important things where people still do not understand how to manage. Many people sometimes ask me a question: what do I get when I buy a crypto? Do I get it through a bank? Where do I keep this crypto? So there are very basic questions that people have, because as I said, only 3% of the world population has an idea of what cryptocurrency is. But for many people today also, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. I mean, that's the only cryptocurrency. So if you say cryptocurrency, they say Bitcoin. But there are thousands of cryptocurrencies now. So it's going to take time for people to understand. There are a lot of things, but I'm sure, as I said, acceptance takes time, and like how debit cards and credit cards were at a stage 25-30 years back, cryptocurrencies are in a similar situation. So slowly people have to adopt it.
Okay, I'd like to go back a little bit where you mentioned that UGPay is a payments processing platform, just like Google Pay, Phone Pay, Amazon Pay. So firstly, what are the advantages of using UGPay over any other platform, and what are some of the things that I can do? Can I just transfer crypto? Can I just transfer money? How does it work? And secondly, does UGPay also earn a commission? And if yes, like how are they as compared to other payment platforms?
Yeah. See, Global Unit Pay, as I said, is a payment system. Okay. And we have our own MasterCard into the system, and the other advantage that we have, when you want to open an account with Global Unit Pay, your verification process goes through a global company called Global Pass. Okay. It's an international company which does your verification. And if your verification goes, they're very strict about everything. They have access to all your information. When you upload your documents, they can find out everything about you. If you have any problems in any country, any police cases, any bank problems, so your account will never get verified. So once it gets verified through Global Pass in a Global Unit Pay, you have an advantage of opening account in European country, because you have gone through the KYC. So that is one biggest advantage that you have. You will have an European bank, even though you're living in India or anywhere in the world, any other place, you will have account over there. And the other advantages is our cards and our Global Unit payment system is getting linked to the payment system that you spoke about, Google Pay and Phone Pay and all those things. So it is going to be very convenient for people to use it internationally, because when you are going to send payment internationally, there are a lot of charges, whereas our payment system is the cheapest. When we were in the Dubai Expo, we won the award of the one of the best payment gateways in the world. So it's very cost effective. Our charges are very low compared to any other payment gateway that is there, and it helps you to transfer money around the world, and it helps you to convert your fiat into crypto and crypto into fiat in a system. And as I said, opening bank account, there are 3 banks that we have, 2 in Europe and 1 in London. So you can have a bank account also if your account is verified and you have a Global Unit Pay account with us.
So I'd like to go back to the beginning where you mentioned a lot of businesses, and some of them I found very interesting, because you mentioned there's Basalt and there's synthetic diamond production and there's gold trading and there's gold mining. So if you could just give a brief summary about what each business is, where it is and how it's going, just a little bit about each business.
Yeah. We have also invested in a new technology called Basalt technology. Now what is Basalt in brief? I would say this particular product is going to replace iron and steel. Okay. The raw material for Basalt is the volcanic rock, which is very easily available everywhere in the world. So iron ore is going to get over. in few hundreds of years. And iron ore creates a lot of pollution. When you make iron and steel, creates a lot of pollution and all that. Whereas basalt is a natural product, and you produce basalt fiber, and with basalt fiber you can produce a lot of things for the construction industry, automobile industry, basically in each and every industry.
So it's very versatile. Basically it's like hemp
and
plastic.
It is, they say it's 4 times cheaper than iron and steel, 4 times stronger, and it doesn't rust, because this is not, it's natural, made out of volcanic rock. So they say basalt is a future, and many construction industries have, many countries for construction have already started using basalt bars and all that, even in Russia and China. Then we are into synthetic diamond production. Again, synthetic diamond, because you find natural diamonds which takes thousands of years to get developed, form in that rock.
Under atmospheric pressure, and then
so the same thing is done in a lab, which takes I think 3 days or 4 days for you to have a diamond. And basically our understanding about diamond is that diamonds are used for jewelry, but we plan to have our own jewelry brand. Okay, that is one part, but our diamond production is going to be big diamonds of 50 carat and 100 carat. It's for industrial use. Basically diamonds are used for space industry and mining industry,
because diamond is the hardest substance.
And the diamond which are produced in factory, the cultured or the synthetic diamond, they are much better and quality wise better than a natural diamond. And in African countries how small children and labor are exploited, they call it blood diamond. So this is what is going to help sorting that
cause
problem,
a paradigm shift,
and make it
clean, like clean production.
So synthetic diamond we are into, and we are also into education is one of our companies, Academy of Private Investor, which is the mother company, I would say, which started in 2011. And we are into Edu Cafe, our own cafes, which is cafes for you to have meetings and even dine there.
So like a co-working space.
So co-working space. So we are into this. We plan to get into our own. We plan to have our own banks in future, into retail outlets. So the company has planned many things, and so now we recently, as I said, we got into perfume business. So that is also one of our businesses that we are into, and the U-Gain is one of our app, which is not only a discount app, but is going to connect many vendors, and it's going to help customer also and business people also once they are part of this U-Gain app, which is going to be launched.
So it's like an ecosystem, or basically a market place, or a medium that connects buyers
and sellers. Yes, so that is one. And then, as I said, we've coming up with our NDE, the digital guarantee product, which is going to be used as our security tokens would be used as digital guarantees in banks. So that is one very important product for us. So this is what we have done over the period of time. And that's how the company has grown to about few billions of dollars today.